Okay. All right, we're here. We're totally here. Hold on. I've been doing this. I've been setting up like the hold on. We'll get focused here in just a moment. I've been setting up, I mean, like, while the countdown was going. So let's fix this a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that looks correct. That looks relatively correct. Hi. How is everybody? Hopefully good. One of my lights is honestly on the other side of the room.
The ham!
And it's fine. It's totally fine. I don't think it's a big deal. Hey everybody, I am late. I am late. David Lynch says, "By yourself. This feels like a Patreon video." Yeah. I didn't even have the camera. I didn't even have the camera set up because the camera was. I had swapped the cameras because I needed a different camera for when Alex and Haley were here because I needed 2 mics, and yeah, it's a bad turn of events. I know folks are gonna be like, "Is Mal's the reason that you're on time?" That's not inherently true. What happened was, so if you don't know where Mal is, I took Mal to the airport this morning, real early. Like, we got up at 4:30 a.m. And I took her to the airport because she's going to Wisconsin to spend time with her. I mean, to spend time with her family, and then also to be in Wisconsin for Carly's bridal shower, because Carly is getting married later this year. So anyway, took her to the airport, and whenever I came back, I was in this weird zone where I was awake enough that I didn't want to go back to sleep, but I wasn't so awake that I felt like I could work. So I'm in this zone, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I can't, because I was thinking, you know, I'm going to go back to sleep until breakfast stream. Like, no, I'm too awake. I'm going to work until breakfast stream. I'm not awake enough. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to sit on the couch for a few hours with Kep, because he loves that. And I'm just going to watch some YouTube videos, because I've been trying to do some research for new studio lights. It's like, this would be a great opportunity to just sit, watch a bunch of review stuff, and do that. So I'm just chilling on the couch. Everything's good. And when I dropped Mal off, I grabbed some Bojangles on the way home, because Bojangles opens at 5:30, and they had just opened. So I was like, I'm gonna get a biscuit. So I got a biscuit, came home, had a biscuit, coffee, was on the couch for quite a while, and then I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, cool, stream time, things are good. And the mere act of walking up the stairs, my body was like, whoa, hold on, buddy. You didn't tell me that there's going to be movement. You gotta poop. And I was like, I really don't have time. I really need to, I need to set things up right now. And it's like, you can't do it. You can't. And of course, this is where, you know, if Mal was here, the stream could have just started and I could have just come on screen a few minutes late. But couldn't do that. So instead, I just have to be like, well, everyone's got to wait for me. Thanks for listening to my story. Here's your reward.
Strike your hunger with Tiny Eddie's chili and ginger lazy cookies.
Chili and ginger. Yum. 1050 from an East who says, hey Eddie, it's like Extra Life on October 29th. What snacks do you suggest? I definitely suggest cookies. Even ginger cookies. Chili cookies would be... I don't know. If I eat cookies, I generally want them to be sweet, but I'm not opposed to the concept of like a spicy cookie. I'm not opposed. But I typically don't want that. But yeah, I hope that you have cookies for Extra Life. Actually, speaking of, So if you didn't hear on Tuesday, I did officially announce, kind of like a soft announcement, that Extra Life is going to be on October 29th, which it is. That's the last Saturday in October. Typically, my mom has made snacks for us, but we are not adjacent to her, and I'm really feeling like, you know, I can't make a guarantee, but I'm really feeling like right before Extra Life, I'm gonna want to go home. That way, if my mom does want to make some treats, I can get them from her. That seems like it would be nice. Yeah, I would not mind. So, or you know, Dan is gonna be here, and he lives much closer to her, so he could pick them up. So that's also an option. Anyway, yeah. So I told you my story. Now you know. My apologies for being. I hate being late because I love being like on time. But you know, of course, the one time that I don't have someone else to start the stream, it's like, well, that's when duty calls. Anyway, let's read some alerts before we get into the other goings on in my life. We got 18 months from Larry C24. Thank you. We got a subscription from Wilson7734. Welcome. 46 months from Science Nerd 2240. 19 months from The Relude. 12 months from Eris D57. That is a 1. Congrats on 1. 20 months from GA Studios. 500 bits from Aldo says, don't forget to snap for prime numbers, Grandpa. You wouldn't want to let Alex down, would you? Oh, I completely intend to let Alex down. In fact, I would go so far as to say that will be an Alex thing, forever putting the onus on him when he is present. Something that I will not continue to do. Prime numbers are impossible. 20 months from Lavender Cats. 19 months from Jamie K7. 300 bits from Pick Matima says, I haven't caught any streams in a while because I've been very busy, but yesterday I did it. I finally handed in my master's thesis, a massive project that took me 1.5 years to complete and was both so much passion and pain. Congratulations. I think that actually deserves a round of applause in and of itself. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. I mean, you will know, right? Because you did one and it took 1.5 years. Congrats. I think you should feel accomplished for that. And I'm gonna say that you do. I say you do feel accomplished.
It's Krumkrock Industries Incorporated, but everything's gold. What will Jumping Princess Peach do?
It's really not that unusual. The idea that Princess Peach would be in Krumkrock Industries is really just a stone's throw. You know, because we very typically include Donkey Kong in the Mario Brothers games. Is it really that unusual to imagine Princess Peach wandering into Donkey Kong Country? I don't think so. She probably visits there every once in a while. 1,000 bits from Yummy Florence. It says, Steven's all alone. Rad, what game should he play while Mao is away? Really just a mix of Donkey Kong Country and Super Princess Peach. Although the fact that everything's gold is a little bit of classic literature. What's the thing? What's the story? The classic story of the guy who everything he touches turns gold. I was just thinking about that story the other day, but I don't remember the name of it. Midas. Yeah. King Midas. That's it. Yeah, don't. If you meet a wizard, a genie, any magic-giving entity in your travels, my personal advice, based on that classic literature, would be to not ask for the ability to turn things gold. Although, why would you? Honestly, why wouldn't you just ask for like a credit card with no limit and no payments? That's like the more modern version, which doesn't require your friends and family to die. Or flight. I think I would ask for flight. I just think it'd be cool to fly. 300 bits from Genesis. I have one coworker who always has tech issues at around 9 a.m. on Thursdays. The joys of IT. If you have a coworker who's having tech issues at the same time on the same day. That seems planned. Seems like that seems like a them problem. Not really sure I understand how that is a thing. Is that like the specific time that they need to play the online pachinko? Like the pachinko resets every week? Just monitor their internet history. We got 300 bits of radio dread who says, clown time. It is clown time. I'm the clown. I am the bathroom clown as of today. Although I feel a lot better. If that's worth anything. At least there won't be any more interruptions in the stream. So that's good. We got 43 months from Armored Frog. 500 bits from Science Nerd says, haven't been here live for a while, so have a clown. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope you've been doing well. You haven't been here live, but you've been keeping up your subs since you hit 46 months. 300 bits from I Spy Moose who says, so funny, but also slightly dark story. We had the talk with Reed about my mom. We did our best to keep it simple. He's been fine since. However, he's now telling everyone he can about death. He also overheard Mark and me talking about cremation. I found out because his daycare teacher told me. He said to her, hey, Miss Kimberly, my grandma is cremated. I was mortified, embarrassed, but also find it hilarious. Gotta find humor somewhere, right? Also clown. I mean, for one, continue good vibes to you and your family, because I think it's still appropriate. But then also, you know, kids, amidst saying, you know, the darndest things, also, they are going to bring about humor in their limited understanding of the world and also the way in which they perceive it. And I think enjoying that humor is appropriate. You know, I think humor especially is one of the best ways to get through tough times. And if you have got a son who is just naturally providing humor for you, that is in some ways a blessing. So there's gonna be equal parts being mortified, but also enjoying the comedy of that. That all being said, continue good vibes to you and your family, Rachel. We got Full Metal Grizz gifting a sub to Arwenovsky, or Arwenovsky, or Arwenovsky. 27 months from Mayo Rails, and 300 bits from Jay Linebacker says, so without spoiling anything, Digimon Survive just gave me the hard reminder that 50 years ago was the 1970s and not the 50s, so now I feel like I need to go and lie down. It's true. We've talked about that on Breakfast Stream before, but like there is I guess to some extent it depends on when you were born and what era you kind of lived through. But for Jay Lineback as well as myself, it will always feel like the year 2000. It'll always feel like that. Yeah, Jazz says 10 years ago was 1990, right? Yep. That's just how it is. And the thing that I wonder is that it feels like that because, I mean, for one, that was a very big part of like that era of childhood. Not only in the respect of like that's when a lot of your growing up happened, or at least for me, like in that era, but then also like 2000 was such a big deal because of the buildup of like, oh my God, we're changing, you know, millenniums, and also Y2K, which was a big. It's hard to explain to anyone now, but like at the time, there was a lot of panic over that. The thing that I wonder is, for the younger generation, for the folks that aren't in their 30s but are instead in their 20s, like especially their early 20s, I wonder what that age, like what that year is. Like for folks in their early 20s, what does 20 years ago feel like to them? Is it 2010? Like, is it just another like big point? Or does time feel a little bit differently for them? I don't know. For so many folks my age, and then also kind of a little gap around it, 2000 is the marker. 2012, mid 2000s for me, 2007-ish. As a 25-year-old, 20 years ago feels like the 80s. Okay, so you're in the same wavelength as us then. Okay. Fahrenheit's 26 says 2010-ish is this is the current year, right? It's interesting how folks have some very specific years, right? Because I was thinking that it would fall into like 10, like it would be either 2000 or 2010 or whatever. And there's so many very specific years, and I'm not sure why that is. Because we got there's quite a few 2010s, right? The folks that are in their early 20s are leaning into 2010, but there's also folks that are saying very specific years, and I don't think I understand. NDL brings up a good point. Year 2000, and then also 9/11, which is very close to 2000, does create a very solid break in time. And Brandon brings up a follow-up question. For the people naming a specific year, say 2007, would your knee-jerk be that 1990 was 17 years ago? It is very... I think that's the hard thing for me to grasp. Is saying a very specific year. If you say 2007, that's so specific. That's very, very specific. Anyway, you don't have to feel obligated to answer these things. I just find them kind of fascinating. Like for so many people that are in my age range, it does always feel like we're living perpetually in the year 2000, and it's very hard to swallow that 20 years ago was actually 2002 and not 1980. Anyway, 5 months from Sombra Noir. And 500 bits from the Leaf 473, who just says bird, please. And you did. You got a little. What is that? What kind of bird is that? Like a pheasant? Is that what a pheasant is? My understanding. Is that a duck? That was a duck. What is a pheasant? It's a fancy duck. Oh, okay. Of course. Sorry, let me just Google pheasant so I have a better idea of what a pheasant looks like. Pheasant. I mean, a pheasant's pretty close, actually, to what that looked like. Because a pheasant's got a bunch of different colors and patterns, especially under the wing. Like, the under the wings is also another, like, color and pattern. So that actually was pretty pheasant-like. I'm going to give myself a pass. Also, what is this? Hold on. Follow up. Type in golden pheasant into Google image search right now, because that is a bizarre-looking bird. That is crazy. I guess I could have mods show a picture of a golden pheasant. Golden pheasant has got... It looks like 5 birds flew into each other and like exploded into one bird. It's a cool looking bird. Yeah. I Spy Moose says it's like a scarlet macaw but in pheasant form. It's a very pretty bird. Yeah, look at this bird. Get a load of that bird. There is a whole lot happening there. I ain't never seen anything like that. I mean, I just typed in pheasant, and then one of the related image searches was like, "Did you mean golden pheasant?" I was like, I didn't, but I'd love to see it, and I'm glad I took a little peek. Neat. We're learning about new things all the time here on Breakfast Stream, the place that you expect to learn about this sort of stuff. So anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so Mal's gone. She's not going to be back for a bit, which means that you're stuck with me, not only for today's breakfast stream, but also for tomorrow's stream. So it'd just be a solo game stream, and I don't really know what we're doing yet. I have a list. I had told patrons ahead of time that Alex and Haley were visiting, and I'd asked for multiplayer suggestions. Overcooked was like overwhelming. There were so many folks that wanted to see Overcooked, and I also asked for single player suggestions. So I have a lot of single player suggestions that I'm going to be looking through today to try and figure out what I want to do tomorrow. And they really run the gamut because there's things that are like all sorts of different experiences. So I don't know what we're going to do, but you know, we'll do something. It'll be fun. And then also, you will have just me on Tuesday also. That's how long Mal's going to be gone. Mal's going to be gone until like Tuesday night or Wednesday or something. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember the specifics, but a little while. Super Wolf Star says play Stray. So that's the thing, right? Like, I have to pick a game that Mal wouldn't want to play, and you know she'd want to play Stray. So like, I can't play Stray. Stray's not on the table. Stray's not on the table because I know that that's a game that Mal would want to experience together. She's definitely going to want to play a cat game. So that one's got to wait. But we got some other things that I'm looking at, so we'll do something fun. I'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm not like worried about it. We'll play a game tomorrow. I'm just letting you know that Mal's gonna be gone for a while, and it sucks. It totally sucks. You know, Mal and I spend a lot of time together since we both work at home. Like the only time that we really have apart is when we are in our respective rooms working. So when she's not around, it's it's lonely for one. That's definitely part of it, especially because we don't have any other friends that live in the Raleigh area yet. So I mean that's part of it. And then the other thing is like we kind of split the chores and the food prep and things like that. So I'm on my own. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for things. Mr. Gameboy says you have some. I mean, I do have Kep, but Kep has never once offered to help me prep food. Never once. And I've asked, and he mostly looks confused, and then asks me to feed him, which is not what I wanted. Yeah, he doesn't have thumbs, which probably would help. We also had a subscription from Snorlax. Welcome. For all the folks that are new here, this is a very atypical stream. Because normally Mao is here, and today it's me. I think I told Mal this. I said, the thing that is so sad to me is that I just got done enjoying a absolutely wonderful weekend with, Alex and Haley. Best friends in the world. So glad that they were here. So glad we could spend time with them. And then they leave, and then right after, Mal leaves. So I went from having like a house full of people, having a lot of fun, and then now it's just me. And yeah, it's fine. I'm hoping that I can use this time to make some progress, because obviously I couldn't really get anything done while Alex and Haley were here. So now that everyone in the house is gone, the only things I really have to do, aside from stream, is sleep, eat, and make vlogs. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. Is just focus on that. See if I can make some progress. That's what I'm hoping for. The basic functions of man. It's true. Man is born into this world to eat, sleep, and edit videos, and that's it. So we'll see if I can make that happen over the course of the next few days. I do have to tell you though, I am coming into this weekend a little sleep deprived because I did wake up at 4:30 and then I never went back to bed. So yeah, it's not we're not off to a great start. I can still turn it around. We're not off to a great start. We got 300 bits of Platinum. Pikachu says, so remember Krusty Sean? Well, yesterday's Splatoon Direct introduced a new character called Gnarly Eddie. And now all I can think of is Tiny Eddie and a Splatoon version of him. So I didn't see Splatoon Direct, but when I think Splatoon and Tiny Eddie, I just think calamari. But I don't know what kind of creature Gnarly Eddie is. Is Gnarly Eddie is a big man, but what is he? What is Gnarly Eddie? He's a Nautilus. I am aware of that word, and I have a vague picture in my head of what a Nautilus is. Did you mean golden Nautilus? No. Okay, yeah, I was right. Yeah, they're very interesting creatures. Neat. I don't know how I would describe that creature. It's kind of like a squid-esque snail thing, but for the water. Like a squid snail. An ammonite. Yeah, you could call it an ammonite. There we go. If you've never seen a nautilus, there you are. I think a squid snail is a pretty accurate way of describing that. I put my arms there, it kind of looks like the Nautilus was my head. It's me. What is this?
No waterfall picnic is complete without Tiny Eddie's powdered graduation banana richies.
That was a bit for Cheesehammer says, oh, there's no one here. Nobody to help with food prep. Nobody at all. Nobody laying here. Forgotten again. You know, Cheesehammer could help me make powdered graduation banana richies because with the power of a hammer, anything can become powdered. You just smash it enough. Yeah, I don't think I'll be making a pizza, admittedly. So, Cheesehammer, you'll just have to be there on the shelf. I will tell you that before Mal left, we made some yakisoba, and I've got some yakisoba to work on over the course of the next few days. And actually, last time I was in Myrtle Beach, Mom had given us a container of chicken gnocchi, which we put into the freezer. So I actually have some food, which is really nice because I am when I'm alone, I sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I have a tendency to go like full work mode. And if I go full work mode, sometimes I don't think about food so much. And my desire to prep and make food on my own goes down a lot. So if there's food around to eat, that helps out a whole lot. Like when Mal's here, I'd say that we split food preparation and cooking roughly about 50-50. Although she definitely tends to plan meals much more than I do. But when I'm by myself, I'm like, what if I just eat cereal? Because like you're working and you're getting stuff done, and then you have like the first hunger pang, and you're like, shut up, and you keep working, and then eventually your hunger pang is like you're about to pass out, and you're like, ah. So then you go down, and you're like, okay, what can I put in my body so I can keep working? And it's cereal. It's definitely cereal. So yeah, the fact that there's like actual meals So, yes, some of you may feel seen. It's okay. It just means that you do need to do some sort of meal prep ahead of time. Like if you have a spouse or a partner or a roommate, I feel like doing meal prep stuff is a lot easier because it's mostly I just don't want to be in the kitchen alone. Mal feels the same way. She doesn't want to do any of that stuff by herself. If you just like have someone in the kitchen to talk to, it makes the time go by faster. But if you are by yourself, then at least pick like one day of the week to do like a ton of meal prep, and then you can just eat whenever.
Milk and honey.
It's my biggest recommendation for that. Otherwise, just eat cereal. I don't know. What could go wrong if you just eat a lot of cereal all the time? 300 bits from Item Crafting Live, who says, since you have played so much more Splatoon recently, so much more, any thoughts on the almost said something other than Splatoon. Splatoon 3 Direct. I haven't seen it. I only just played Splatoon 2 for the first time for the first 20 and Emil's Salmon Run video. I have not played any Splatoon past that. Like I did those videos and then I didn't play anymore. So I don't have any immediate interest in Splatoon 3. Splatoon 2 was fun. I'm just trying to be realistic, and I'm like, will I see myself playing Splatoon 3? And the answer is probably not. Because the time that I do have that I want to put into games is generally put into more narrative experiences than games like Splatoon. Generally. But, you know, if Emil was like, hey, do you want to do a Splatoon 3 video? Then I'd probably do that with him. Probably. 3D Bits from Yummy Florence says, cereal. Great. You can eat nothing but the Tropicana cereal all weekend. Maybe some sugar will make it taste better. Very fortunately, we finished that. And that terrible bastardization of a cereal is depleted. It's no longer... It is no longer with us. But I did actually get some cereal recently. We have some... So we've been buying cereal at the Costco, and they have a 3-pack that is, do my best here, Cocoa Krispies, Fruit Loops, and Apple Jacks. And we bought it a while back, and I worked my way through 2 of them, and I'm down to just the Apple Jacks. So I've got some Apple Jacks to eat if I want them. But I'm hoping that I limit my cereal consumption because I have real food to eat with minimal prep because it's ready to eat. It just needs to be heated in the microwave, which I can certainly handle. It takes just as much time to put something in the microwave as it does to pour cereal and milk into a bowl. So, Brandon says, I bought cereal from Costco, Frosted Mini Wheats, and it took me 8 months to eat. How? I mean, I don't eat cereal every day. I probably eat... How many bowls of cereal would I eat a week? Probably like... On average, I probably eat 2 bowls of cereal a week. Maybe 3? Maybe 3? I'm just about through this box that I got maybe a month ago. Although I do eat abnormally large bowls of cereal. It's definitely rounded off on the top. I put the cereal into the bowl until I suspect the next piece is going to fall off of the bowl. That's how I decide how much cereal to put in the bowl. So it's not like a serving size. The serving size is, at my personal discretion. Discretion? If you eat enough cereal, you will die. Discretion. Where were we? 300 Bits from Genesis, who says, okay, the cereal talk reminds me, I got some Cinnamon Toast Crunch for the first time in a while and had it for breakfast this morning. Good stuff. It is the highest rated cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, there's been taste test polls and things like that over the years, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch repeatedly ranks as like the #1 cereal. So apparently nothing is capable of dethroning Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I get it. It is extremely good. That being said, I do have an alternative. If you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but you feel like, man, this cereal is really sweet, because it is. It's extremely sweet. The Cinnamon Chex is real good. It's real good. It is not as sweet as Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it has the same flavor. The texture. I'm actually going to say I prefer the texture of the Chex to the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I've only ever had one box of the Cinnamon Chex, but I actually think I prefer the texture of the Chex to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It is easier to eat. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a little harder. It's very crunchy, or I guess it's earning that crunch title. And it's not that CTC is bad. Obviously, it's good. It is the king of cereals here. But for someone who, I mean, really doesn't even want that much sugar, wants that same taste, but doesn't want the same sugar content, try Cinnamon Chex. Next time you're at the grocery store, try Cinnamon Chex. Or if you have a Costco subscription, the Costco recently has been doing the big box, and it's half Cinnamon Cheerios and half Cinnamon Chex, and it's really good. The Cheerios aren't as good as the Chex. They're good, but they're not. It's not even the same. It's not even the same ball field. It's not even. This is my personal discretion, but it's not even the same ball field. I mean, the Cheerios are playing football, and the Chex are in the baseball diamond. Ballpark? Was that what I was looking for? I seem to have mixed up all my words, but also I have had an extremely small amount of sleep, which is probably why. Because I got up at 4:30 in the morning to take Mal to the airport. Vagabond says, "Did you make coffee?" So I didn't make coffee for breakfast stream. I don't have a coffee now, but it's only because I got coffee at Bojangles, and I got to tell you, I had the weirdest experience at the Bojangles this morning. I ordered bacon, egg, and cheese combo. So bacon, egg, cheese, Bo Rounds, and a black coffee. And the guy started by handing me the coffee, and I've had coffee from a million different places. Especially if I'm getting breakfast, I tend to get just a black coffee with whatever I'm eating. When I grabbed the coffee, like immediately my brain was like, this coffee is not full. In a way that was like severe enough that I could tell, like when I grabbed it. But you don't want to say anything, right? Like you get the coffee, and you don't want to be the guy that's like opening up the lid and looking back and being like, put coffee in the... I didn't want to be that guy. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm sure that the person that's working at the drive-thru doesn't even want to be there any more than I want to be up. So I grab it, and I could just tell immediately. I'm like, so I'm like, well, there's coffee in here, but this is definitely not full. But I'm like, it's fine, it's whatever. So then, after I got the coffee, got the food, after that, I didn't want to drink any because I was like, I gotta wait because it's dark, and I was like, I want to wait till I get home so I can see how much coffee is in here because I'm really curious. So I didn't drink any coffee on the way home. And then I got home, and I was like, I gotta find out how much coffee's in this. So I opened up the lid, and it's a little more than half full. And I was like, okay. It's like it's fine. It's not a big deal. We have coffee at home, and there's nothing else I would want from the Bojangles as part of the combo meal anyway. Sometimes in the mornings, if I'm going back home, I would get like an unsweet tea with no ice, and I just stash it in the fridge. How big was the cup? So the cup was like a normal size, like I guess like a 12-ounce cup. 12-ounce cup. So yeah, it was that's the only time that's ever happened to me. Ever. I've been to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. I've been to McDonald's in the morning, and I don't typically have fast food breakfast. It's only if we're traveling somewhere. But like that's never happened where I've grabbed the coffee and immediately thought, no, something's wrong. Vagabond says, did George respond? They gave you a large cup. No, this was this is just like the normal standard cup of coffee. And like in fairness, like the person that took my order was definitely not happy to be awake. And like I don't blame them. I never hold it against a drive-thru worker that's like short or doesn't say things either over the speaker or in person, because like I get it, they don't want to be there, and that's totally fine. But I do take like slight offense if they don't even bother filling up the cup, because we're like, well, you know, that was my coffee. But it's fine. I have more coffee at home. Anyway, that's my coffee story. I didn't even tell that on the vlog. I was just morbidly curious myself whenever I got home. I was like, I gotta find out what's in this. But there wasn't there wasn't that much in there. Anyway, the more you know. I have an issue in the morning, and I was good this morning, but I don't know how many else of you feel this way. I have a tendency, and it's really only in the mornings. I have a tendency in the mornings, if I am traveling and I'm going through a drive-thru or something to grab something on my way somewhere else, that I want more food than I really need. And it's really only a breakfast problem. If I'm traveling in the afternoon, I'm traveling in the evening, I'm going through a drive-thru then, I order like a meal and that's it. In the mornings, I have a terrible tendency to get like a combo meal and then like a little sweet. And I know that it's a problem that's fairly indicative of like Dunkin' Donuts, right? Because you're at the Dunkin' Donuts, the donuts is in the title. Or I guess now it's not, right? Now it's just Dunkin'. And I have to get the combo meal, and then I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm at the donut place. I better get a vanilla cream. But the problem is that follows me to other places too. So like if we go to McDonald's, we'll go to McDonald's and I'll be like, all right, I want a bacon, egg, and cheese with a hash brown and a coffee. But then I'm like, y'all got like a cinnamon thing? I better get a cinnamon thing. And like, I don't need that. There's no part of me that needs that. If I have the sandwich and the hash brown, I'm gonna be good till lunch. I don't need that sweet thing. But it's a morning thing. I think it's the coffee. I think I get, Renee says legally obligated to get the coffee. It's true. I think it's the coffee, because when you're drinking black coffee, you're drinking something so bitter, you want something to like offset that, so you want a sweet. And I think that's probably why. It's just nice, man. It's just really nice. And there is an inner kid inside of me that just wants a big breakfast, because breakfast is always my favorite meal of the day, and getting a chance to get it, I'm like, oh, what else can I get? What else can I get? I've definitely, on a few occasions, definitely ordered double hash browns. Definitely been more than one time in my life where I've gotten the combo meal, and they're like, do you want anything else with that? And I'm like, one more hash brown? Like, who is it for? It's for me. It's for me. But that's okay, because I like breakfast, and it's fine. Chai Bone says double hash browns always. It's not. It's a perfectly fine way to live.
Boy,
I don't need it,
made of milk and honey.
but it's good. It's just very good. Legally, no one can stop me. It's true. It's true. And like, God forbid that we do a morning at Waffle House, because then all bets are off. I mean, if we go to a Waffle House, I do tend to lack self-control, and it's a breakfast thing. I really love breakfast, and I want to get the All-Star. I want to have a little of everything. I want to get my hash browns with many toppings. Like, it's just sorry, I'm getting excited about breakfast, and I already ate it. I had Bojangles today. I'm not gonna get it again. But I didn't get a Bowberry biscuit. I was good this morning. I got the combo and I left it at that. But now I'm like, Man, I could have had that bowberry. I could have been enjoying it right now. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna be fine. We have 300 bits from Satsy, who says, yeah, it's probably your brain demanding an extra boost, and when you already have the coffee, the next potential thing is sugar. Clown, it'll be some alert. Ham. Sugar, clown, ham. One of those. Yeah, and like I don't drink coffee for the caffeine either. Like on the times where I've like went several weeks without caffeine, I function just fine. I honestly, and this will out me as like a sociopath, I drink coffee for the taste. I drink black coffee because it's bitter, and I really do like it. Now that being said, I do like to offset that with a sweet. So I am just as bad as someone who would put sugar in their coffee. It's the same thing. But on the times where I don't get a sweet, then I feel proud of myself. I'm like, oh, I did. My drink had no calories, and I just drank this bit of drink. But I do. I like the flavor. I do. It's not for everyone, and I will definitely tell you from the years that I have been drinking coffee, it's an acquired taste. I mean, drinking black coffee, like starting off drinking black coffee, that's a jump. That's a jump. I think for a lot of people, you maybe get into coffee with it being sweet and then gradually reduce the sugar. Or you're like me and you jumped into black coffee specifically because you always wanted to dislike it, and then it just grows on you. It's fine. It's totally fine. Speaking of coffee, yes, beans. Hold on, it's over here. I hit it. These beans are still old. Alex called me out on Tuesday for not having yet updated the Patreon producer list. I have not had time. I will get to that very soon. Maybe today? It might be today. If not today, then hopefully before Tuesday, which is the next time I would run it. These beans are, let's say, finely aged. I will tell you, and I mean it's probably obvious, right? Because there's games up, behind me. But Alex and Halo were extremely helpful for the past few days that they've been here. I mean, we got all of well, not all of the bookshelves, but sans too. We've got all of the bookshelves up. We have all of the games on them. It's a good feeling, it's a good feeling. And downstairs, things are actually looking pretty good too, because all of the games were in the dining room. And we had a crap load of boxes that are in the living room and kind of spread throughout the house. So what we did is we made a bunch of room in the dining room. So now all of that stuff can go into the dining room. So the living area is actually starting to look better as a result. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but things are things are getting better. Satsy says, "Oh my God, it just hit me. You're in the loft." Yeah, this is the loft. This is the loft. We are upstairs. For the first month, month and a half of living here, all the streams were downstairs. Now all the streams are upstairs, and that's a good feeling. I'm happy about that. Austin says, "How much space is between the couch and the shelves?" A little bit more than the last house. A little bit more. So there's enough room for the green screen, which is good. Although we also considered just doing a completely different solution for the green screen. I don't know that we'll do it because we may not have a reason to, but we considered even putting a green piece of fabric, like attaching a green piece of fabric on the top of the bookshelves that could just come down, which then it would just be, back there. But there's not really a reason to do that because, like, we can still just use the the green screen. Treble asked, "Are you able to have all your games on display?" Yes, asterisk. Every video game that we own, I think. I'm pretty sure I've unpacked all the game boxes. Every video game we own is on a shelf. The downside is these shelves are double stacked. That's the downside. So just as a little example of that. So if I pull off Custom Robo, okay, you probably can't see, but there's a game behind it. I don't know what game that is. What game is that? What game is that? Egg Mania? I don't know what that is. Anyway, all of the games are double stacked, so it's obviously not my preferred way of doing it. But at least they're all not in a box, which is good. And the cool thing is we actually double stacked everything. Just from the get-go, we double stacked everything, and because we did that, there's actually a fair bit of space. There's a little bit of space here, but then there's a lot of space in my office too. And we'd actually like to get 2 more shelves to go next to these. So we have a lot of room for games. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited at the prospect of being able to get games and not be like, well, go straight into a box. They don't have to go into a box. We can actually have access to them. So, yeah. Very excited about that. I also have another announcement that doesn't really affect you guys at all, but it's a pretty big change for us. When we first put everything in here, one of the things that we thought would be a problem was the couch is further away from the TV than it's ever been, and that's by design because, for one, the room is bigger. We also have 2 couches in here, which we got a chance to actually utilize when Alex and Haley were here. And we thought, I think the TV is a little small for this room now, because the TV is actually a 40-inch, and it's a TV that we got in 2011. So the TV is actually 11 years old. Bless it for surviving for 11 years. It's I can't say that it's been a great TV, because it has a issue where it has a terrible bezel. Anyone that's watched a lot of our Let's Plays or streams, or sometimes we will complain about the UI of the game and not being able to see it, and there's no settings on the TV for changing it. It's fine when I'm running it through the computer because I can adjust that in the GPU settings of the computer. But if you're running a game console into it, you can't do that. So you're just like, I wonder what item I'm holding. I don't know. How much health do I have? Who knows? So yeah, it has its problems. Anyway, it survived for 11 years. And I am excited to say that after last Friday, and the 4 of us squinting to figure out what toppings were on our overcooked hamburgers and not being able to figure out what stuff was because the TV is literally just too small for the room, I have purchased another television. So this TV's serviced us for 11 years. That's a long time for television. I'm happy with that. But we now have a 65-inch television that is coming, which is considerably larger, although in fairness, I don't think it's too large. I think it's actually probably the right size for the distance from the couch. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm mostly excited because I get to be able to see everything that I'm doing. That's kind of an important thing. It's also the nicest TV that we've ever owned, because we've never had an HDR television. I have a monitor that's HDR, but we've never had a television that's HDR. The one downstairs is 4K, but it's not HDR, and the one that we ordered is HDR. Yeah, this one, as a reminder, this one's 11 years old. This one's 1080. So in the event, in the future, that we play a 4K game, we already have the hardware to record it. Now we can see it, which up to this point we would not have been able to do. We could record it, but we would not be able to see it. Vagabond says, "What's the refresh rate?" The TV will go up to 120, so it'll do 4K 120 HDR, and it also has. I looked up very specifically. I wanted to find a television that had very low lag. So whenever it's in game mode, it has like almost no lag, which is great. It actually has less than a frame of lag, which is really good. So it's the idea of getting the television is that we've had this for 11 years. It's time to get something that will service us for, God willing, another 11 years. So it'll be good for not only retro stuff, because it has support for like weird resolutions and things like that, but then also it does support 4K 120 HDR for PS5 or Xbox, whatever the Xbox is called. I do not know what the Xbox is called. It's Xbox. It's just Xbox. They come up with a stupid name because they're sad that they're one number behind Sony and they don't want to call it the Xbox 4 because then it makes it seem lower because people don't know how consoles work. Anyway, yeah. So now for the saddest part of this story, right? The saddest part of the story is that the television gets here tomorrow, and there is no possible way that a single person could get that television up the stairs and set it up. So instead, the television will sit in the hallway until Mao gets home, when she can help me with it. So, yeah, it'll just kind of be there. Now, you might be wondering, what does that mean for the old television? And the old television actually going to get some use. Our plan is to move the old television and the old TV stand, because we were always going to get a new TV stand anyway. We're going to move the old television and the old TV stand into our bedroom, because the bedroom is larger than I would like it to be. It doesn't need to, it's too big. Why does it have all this room? So we're going to put the TV into the bedroom along with the DDR pad, and that is where we will be able to do exercise, which seems like a pretty good place for it too, because, you know, if you get really hot and sweaty doing exercise, you want to get in the shower, and then it's like right there. So that's the plan. You know, the TV hasn't died, although I can just about guarantee you about the minute that I'm like, all right, time to move the TV, it'll just be like, I give up, and die. But yeah, I'm excited that, you know, we're not retiring the equipment. We're just giving it a new life. So yeah, don't jinx. I mean, I'm hoping that everything stays good. But yeah, that's the plan. And not, like, I don't think I'm as excited as some folks. Like, it's for work, right? Like the TV that we're getting is for work. I'm excited at the prospect that the overscan issues will finally be gone, because they have plagued us for a decade. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about, you know, the fact that it'll be bigger, it'll fit the room better, and we can see it better. But, you know, it is still, at its base level, it's like, this is, you know, it's for work. It's for being able to see stuff. Although, I am excited to see what HDR looks like, because I have not actually experienced that at all. So that'll be kind of fun, I guess. There's no way to stream that because Twitch doesn't support it. Our capture card actually will capture HDR, but getting that onto YouTube is its own special hell. So it would probably be just something that I would play around with on my own time to see what it looks like. But yeah, in the future, like we're getting like we're getting to the point where that sort of thing is going to become like more adopted. Actually, in the new beta for OBS 28, HDR support has finally arrived. So like OBS is going to start being able to handle HDR. It's just a matter of, you know, Twitch supporting HDR. Twitch doesn't even support 4K, which is, I get it. Like I get it. It takes a lot of bandwidth. YouTube supports 4K streaming, but Twitch doesn't. And if they ever chose to do it, it's something that we could do. Like we have all of the stuff necessary to do it. We could hit a button, and it could work. But yeah, I don't know when they're going to do that. Hopefully, with OBS supporting HDR, Twitch will make the decision to allow 4K streaming. That would be neat. So, we'll see what happens. If you don't know what HDR is, I don't think I can easily explain it. It's also something that you can't see unless you are looking at an HDR display. So like I could explain it to you as best I can, but if you don't see it in person, there's nothing I can do for you. And you can only see HDR on an HDR display. The gist of it is that the range of brightness on the display goes further. As Vagabond says, it has darker blacks and brighter whites. And that just sounds like nothing. But if you, because I have an HDR monitor, and watching like HDR video on that is extremely impressive. Like that monitor hits 1,000 nits. If you have a fairly recent smartphone, they'll hit HDR on the newest iPhones and Androids. So you might be able to watch HDR content on your smartphone. It's really impressive, but I've never played a video game with it. And that's the part that I think would be really neat. But yeah, if you have a standard dynamic range, which is every other display, you can't look at a comparison photo because you have to have that display in order to see it in the first place. So wander into a Best Buy. And you can get an idea of it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that aspect of it, even if it doesn't seem like I'll be able to reasonably bring that content to Twitch or YouTube for a while. The fact that, you know, we are essentially future-proofed, that's nice. That's exciting. And also, as far as I know, I don't think there is a single capture card on the market that will record 4K 120. I don't think that exists yet. So there are some of the consoles can output 4K 120. There's, you know, some of the GPUs can output 4K 120 depending on the game. But I don't believe there's any capture cards that can do that. 4K 60, yes. 1080 120, maybe even 1080 240, yes, but not 4K 120. Renee says, I don't allow Dieter to wander into a Best Buy. That is dangerous. Fair. Completely fair. I do like to look at the... I do like to just go into, like, tech stores like that. Even if I'm not buying... I just like to walk around because a lot of times... My knowledge and what I'm learning about for tech releases, it tends to be somewhat niche. And if you walk around in a tech store, sometimes you see things and technologies that you just weren't aware were there. So that's kind of fun. Because otherwise I'm just like, well, I know a lot about video games, I know a lot about cameras. And then there's all these other things that I have an interest in, but I don't really know anything about. And then I learned that, oh, they can do this now. This other thing can do this now. That's kind of neat. Like whenever you find out that fridges have TVs and cameras in them, and you go, but why? It's like, this refrigerator is $5,000 because it has a screen on the outside with cameras on the inside that show you the food. And I'm like, but it also has a door as a door. See, the thing that you're describing that makes it cost $5,000 can also be replicated with a door. Because if I want to know what's inside, I can open the door. So preoccupied with if they could, they never stopped to ask if they should. 15 months from Queen Kenda. Queen, thank you. Anyway. Yeah, appliances are dumb. Appliances are stupid. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess wrap this up. I'm gonna go back to bed. I'm definitely gonna go back to bed. If I can, if I can manage to get to sleep.
The neighbors will be yawning when you eat Tiny Eddie's twice-baked pumpkin spice muffins.
Oh my God, that sounds good. Eddie did a good. I don't think they need to be twice baked, but sure, why not? 1,000 from Grabobly. Tiny Eddie, what's a good solo snack for the morning? That is a legit good solo snack for the morning. A pumpkin spice muffin? Twice baked. That's a good muffin. A little char on the... I mean, I do like it when the muffins that I'm eating are like, they're a little, not crunchy, but a little, they have a little edge on them, like on the muffin top part. Yeah, bruleed. But like that's a legit good morning thing. I haven't had muffins in forever. My problem with muffins is you go to the store, you want to get a pack of muffins. You get more than I would want. Because if I want a muffin, I typically want like one, maybe two. And if you go to a grocery store, they come in packs of 4, and for the same price or cheaper, you can get 6 at Costco. So then my brain is like, I should buy 6 at Costco, and I don't want 6. I want like 1. I guess you could freeze them. Yeah, I've never frozen a muffin. Although we freeze bread all the time, so I guess it's basically the same thing. Yeah, maybe I'll do that because I really do. I do like either a blueberry muffin. I like chocolate chip too, but I think I like blueberry muffins better. It's kind of a classic. Oh, I really want a muffin now. Anyway, all right. Things to announce. It is Thursday. I have no idea what's coming out. Pokemon. Surprise. Probably Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon. Dan's been doing a good job on Pokemon because they've been he's been catching up. I'm looking ahead and I'm like, there's a chance that eventually Dan will catch up editing the VODs and turning them into episodes around the time that we're finishing the series. So the streamed series and the edited series might end around the same time. And then we'll figure that out later. Tomorrow, of course, you will have me playing a video game. I don't know what that video game will be, but I certainly hope that you'll join me in finding out what it is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Kep will be here. You come say hi. You just jumped up here. Come here. You're almost on camera. Come all the way. Come here. You're so close. There you are. There's your little hit. Hi, buddy. You want to go back to sleep with me? I was going to go get in bed and we could cuddle for a little bit. Maybe. Anyway, so the two of us will be streaming a game. And I'll take a look at the Patreon list and see what folks recommended and try and make a decision. And then past that, I don't know. I have no idea what's I don't remember what's Stephen and Friends on Saturday. I don't remember anything else. I will try and get vlogs out to the best of my ability this weekend while Mal is away. And that's it. That's definitely it. Is it bath time? It's bath time. Anyway, thanks for being here this morning. I sincerely hope that y'all have a wonderful Thursday, and tune in tomorrow to figure out What on earth we're gonna be playing? I don't know. I have a few ideas that I've already seen listed on Patreon, and I'm there's some good ones. We'll figure out something.